Hey everyone, welcome back. And I'm so excited today because I'm finally starting a brand new series on my channel. As you all know, I am a dedicated Jing player, and my biggest goal is to become the best Jing player in the world. I originally created this channel to share Jing-related content and document my journey toward mastering her. Over time, I've noticed that there are so many players just like me who want to learn and master Jing, but they struggle to fully get the hang of her. So I thought, why not share everything I've learned about her with my fellow Jing mains and help all of us improve together, so that one day we can all make it to the leaderboard. And that's how this new series, Jing,
ladies and gentlemen,
was born. In this series, I'm going to break down Jing from the very basics all the way to the most advanced mechanics. I will also upload pro Jing player gameplay analysis, covering their thought process, playstyle, decision-making, and all the subtle details that make them different from the average player. It's not like I never made Jing guides before, but I feel they've become a bit outdated, and the quality isn't where I want it to be. Plus, many people still comment that they're confused about certain things, and yes, I do read your comments, and I love doing that. So this is another reason why I decided to start this series. Think of this series as a zero to hero journey, and this episode is going to be the very first step in that journey. In this one, I'll focus on the basics because I strongly believe that if you want someone to understand the complex parts of a hero, you must first teach them the fundamentals. Without a strong base, players will always stay confused. So you can also treat this episode as an entry in my main series too. Just like in my main episodes, I'll be covering Jing's passive, skills, best builds, optimal settings, and combos. Then, as we go further in this series, I'll start discussing more advanced topics. I guarantee this series will eventually answer every question you have about Jing and solve all your gameplay struggles. If you have something specific you want me to talk about in future episodes, feel free to drop it in the comments. I know there are many Jing players and people who want to main her, so as a token of support, I really want you all to both hype and like this video. That'll motivate me to release the next episode sooner. And if you use Instagram, make sure to follow me there as well. If you're financially stable and want to support me even further, you can join the channel membership and I'll truly appreciate it. So without any further ado, let's roll the intro. So as usual, I'm going to start with her passive first, just like I always do in my main series. Jing's passive is actually very interesting, and it's one of the main reasons why she is insanely mobile. She can rotate across the map far faster than most heroes, and that's why whenever someone asks me what roamer they should pair with her, I just say it doesn't matter. No support can truly keep up with her rotations. On top of that, her passive provides so much healing that she doesn't even need a healer type support most of the time. According to her passive, whenever Jing casts a skill, a mirror image of her is created. This mirror will imitate the main body's movements, her skill uses, and even her spell usage. However, the mirror only deals 30% of the main body's damage. Also, the farther the mirror is from Jing, the more damage it deals and the more healing it generates. When either Jing or her mirror deals damage to an enemy, they apply different marks to that target. When the same enemy has both marks simultaneously, the cooldown of both her skill 1 and skill 2 is refreshed. After the cooldown refresh happens, her passive goes on a 5-second internal cooldown, meaning even if you apply both marks within those 5 seconds, her skills will not refresh again. There are also some very important details you must keep in mind. First, when clearing jungle camps, remember that the farther the mirror is from Jing, the higher the damage and healing become, so you should create some distance before using Smite to maximize her spell damage. The same applies to her skill 2 healing. The more distance, the more HP she recovers. Second, you can also use her mirror image to scout bushes safely without risking your own life. In addition, the mirror can be used to get closer to enemies and swap positions for unexpected surprise attacks, which I'll show you later in the combo section. And that's everything you need to know about her passive for now. By this point, I believe you clearly understand how it works. As for how her mirror image is formed through her skills, I'll explain that when we go over each skill. So now, let's move on to her first skill. So yeah, first I'll discuss all of her skills, and then I'll explain how her mirror image formation actually works, because I've seen a lot of people, especially complete beginners, get extremely confused about it. Jing's skill 1 and skill 2 are both very simple and don't require any deep knowledge to understand, so I'll go over them quickly. Starting with her skill 1. Whenever Jing uses her first skill, she dashes forward, dealing damage to the target she hits and slowing them. It also enhances her next basic attack, meaning after using skill 1, you get one enhanced basic attack that deals a lot more damage. Overall, this skill is considered one of her main damage sources. There is also something important that many players overlook. Jing's mirror image only stays for 2 seconds. So if her mirror image is already active, and you use another skill within that time, it will not refresh the duration of the mirror image, nor will it create a new one during that time window. That's why, when you are farming in the early game, you need to be aware of this detail for faster and more efficient jungle clearing. Jing's skill 2 is very simple. Whenever you use her second skill, she spins once, targeting the enemies around her and dealing damage to them. While hitting enemies with this skill, she also restores HP, meaning she heals herself, and she also gains a noticeable movement speed boost. Her skill 1 is her main source of damage, and this skill 2 is her main source of healing. That's all about her skill 2, just like I said, it's short and simple. So now, let's move on to her ultimate. Jing's ultimate is what truly defines her, and it's the main reason she is so iconic. It is one of the most beautiful yet difficult to master ultimates in the entire game. It's also the very skill that gave birth to one of the most popular and well-known Jing combos, the Flying Thunder Goddess. That is why learning her ultimate properly is extremely important. So whenever you cast Jing's ultimate, she dashes forward similar to her skill 1, but this time she pushes all enemies along her path to the endpoint and immobilizes them. Then, a large circle appears. While Jing remains inside this circle, she gains 10% damage reduction. It may not sound like a lot, but it's still very effective in real fights. The next and most powerful benefit is that her passive cooldown reset for skill 1 and skill 2 is reduced from 5 seconds down to 2 seconds only while the ultimate is active or as long as she stays inside the circle. Once her ultimate ends or she steps out of the circle, the reset goes back to 5 seconds again. Another extremely important detail is that each time the mirror image deals damage inside the circle, her swap ability is refreshed, meaning she can keep swapping positions without any downtime. And every time you swap positions inside her ultimate, you will recover HP. Many players fail to realize this early on because they believe only her skill 2 provides healing, but no, her ultimate also allows her to recover health through swapping. Lastly, there is a small detail about her ultimate that most people either don't know or forget. The moment Jing casts her ultimate, she becomes invincible for a very brief duration, basically a split second. During this tiny window of invincibility, she can avoid crowd control and all incoming damage, allowing her to turn fights or survive fatal situations. However, to use this invincibility to counter CC, you need very sharp reaction timing, otherwise you'll still get stunned and die. Now the thing that confuses most beginners is how Jing's mirror image formation actually works and how to control the direction it moves in. If you don't know, the movement direction of the mirror image is determined by an imaginary central axis, or a straight line. This straight line is simply the direction in which skill 1 or skill 2 is used, and after that, both Jing's main body and the mirror image move in opposite directions adjacent to this line. For example, if I use skill 1 towards the left side, you can imagine a straight line forming from right to left. Now if I move downward, which is one of the adjacent sides of that straight line, then the mirror image will move upward, which is the opposite side of the main body. The same logic applies if I cast skill 1 toward the right side. If I instead use skill 1 downward, then the straight line is formed vertically from up to down, and if I move to the left, the mirror image will move to the right, and vice versa. This is how her mirror image forms directionally, and moves opposite to your own movement in relation to the straight line created by your skill cast. Sometimes, you might notice that both the main body and the mirror image move in the same direction. This happens when you use a skill, and then continue walking in the exact same direction of the straight line without moving to either of its sides. For example, if I use skill 1 to the left, and then keep moving left along that same line instead of moving up or down, then the mirror image will move with me instead of moving in the opposite direction. This is completely normal, and part of how her mirror works. This entire logic works exactly the same for her skill 2. The only difference is in her ultimate. During her ultimate, this central straight line becomes visible, making it much easier to understand how her mirror image moves. For skill 1 and skill 2, however, this line is not visible, so you need to visualize it mentally until you get used to the concept. I hope this explanation is clear, and that you now understand how her mirror image formation really works. If you still feel confused about any part of this mechanic, feel free to leave a comment or DM me on Instagram, and I'll help you out. As for the settings for Jing, all I would currently suggest is that you simply copy the settings I use, which I'll show you in a moment. Later in this series, I'll go through her settings in detail, explain why each one matters, and help you customize them based on your playstyle, but for now, copying mine will work perfectly. Before that, however, there is one specific setting I want to talk about. Skill Picture-in-Picture. If you are a complete beginner, I recommend enabling this option because it opens a small window showing the position of your mirror image. This can be extremely helpful if you struggle to drag your camera or manually check where your mirror is, especially when learning Jing. But keep in mind, this setting also has a downside. Because the small window appears on one corner of your screen, it often ends up blocking part of your vision, and over time it can become very annoying. So once you get used to controlling and tracking your mirror image's position naturally, you can disable this setting, just like I eventually did.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Now about the best build and arcana setup for Jing. Since I'm assuming you're a beginner, I won't recommend multiple build variations just yet. Instead, simply use the one I'm showing on the screen. Just like with the settings, I'll go over all of Jing's different build paths in a separate episode later in the series. For now, copying this build will give you a solid balance of damage output and reliable attack speed, which is exactly what beginners need while learning her. If you don't already know, Jing currently has 3 main types of attack speed builds, plus tank and semi-tank variations, and even some completely different experimental setups. I don't want to overwhelm you with too many options right at the start, especially because this episode is aimed at complete beginners. That's why I'll make a dedicated Jing items and arcana guide in the future, where I'll explain every build in detail, including when and why you should use each one. And now we've reached the part you were all waiting for, Jing's combos. Jing's combos are flashy, unique, and complex, and for many players, they are the main reason they decide to main her in the first place. In this video, I will give you 3 basic Jing combos that you need in order to get started, and in the next episode, I will go even deeper and discuss more of her combo sequences, and also explain how you can efficiently practice each of them until they become muscle memory. But before we move on to the first combo, there is one more thing I need to introduce, and that is Jing's 4th skill. This is a newly added skill that Jing did not have before her rework. Whenever you click on this skill, Jing instantly swaps positions with her mirror image, even when her ultimate is not active. Previously, she was only able to swap during her ultimate, but now she has the ability to reposition it anytime she wants. At max level, this skill can store up to 4 swap stacks, which means you can freely swap up to 4 times in the late game, and once those stacks are used, it will begin to regenerate again, and the recharge time is not very long. Because of this new mechanic, many of Jing's old combos have evolved, and this basic swapping feature is the foundation of the first combo we will talk about. Before explaining the combo, there is something important to clarify about my skill layout. When you first start playing Jing, her ultimate is placed in the 4th slot by default, and her new swap skill is placed in the 3rd slot. I personally changed my layout to match my own comfort, so on my screen, the ultimate is now my 3rd skill, and the swap ability is my 4th skill. I am mentioning this because, while explaining each combo, when I refer to her skills by numbers, I want you to clearly understand what I mean. So whenever I say 1, I am referring to Jing's 1st skill, 2 refers to her 2nd skill, 3 refers to her ultimate, 4 refers to the new swap skill, and whenever I say A, I mean a basic attack, or auto attack. Now that everything is clear and we are on the same page, we can finally move on to the first combo. The first combo I'm going to discuss is 2-4, which is an instant dash combo. Pro Jing players often rely on this combo to rotate quickly across the map since it doesn't require much cooldown and can be spammed repeatedly. It is also extremely useful when catching an enemy who is trying to escape. The way this combo works is simple. You first use skill 2 to summon your mirror image, then you move slightly in the opposite direction of where you actually want to go, and finally you use skill 4. Since skill 4 swaps Jing's position with her mirror, she immediately dashes in the intended direction. One interesting detail about this combo is that when you execute it quickly, and while standing very close to your mirror, Jing actually travels farther than the mirror's exact position. However, if you are positioned too far from the mirror, then you won't dash as far, and you will only swap to the mirror's location. This combo can also be used as a safe scouting technique because you can send the mirror image into a bush to check for enemies while instantly dashing away, preventing any chance of getting ambushed while scouting vision. Similarly, this combo can also be executed using her skill 1 instead of skill 2, resulting in a 1-4 combo, but it is not recommended unless your skill 2 is on cooldown. And with that, we are done with the first combo, so now let's move on to the second one. The second combo is 2-4-1, which is essentially an advanced version of the 2-4 combo. This one is designed specifically for surprise ganks or for catching distant enemies off guard and finishing them before they can react. It is also one of the strongest and most reliable combos for killing enemy mid laners directly from the mid lane bushes when playing Jing. So how does this combo work exactly? First, you execute the 2-4 combo I explained earlier. And if you notice that you are still unable to reach your target after the dash, then you follow up by using skill 1 to close the gap even further. Once you are finally in range, you immediately use your ultimate, and after that, you can perform your Flying Thunder Goddess combo to delete the enemy almost instantly. And speaking of that, the Flying Thunder Goddess combo is what I'm going to explain next. Now we've reached the final part of this video, and also the final combo. This combo is the most famous Jing combo, and mastering it is almost equal to mastering Jing herself. Once you truly understand it, you become extremely hard to kill, and enemies will literally panic when they see you enter a fight. I won't go deep into the Flying Thunder Goddess in this episode because it deserves its own dedicated explanation, and that's exactly what I'll do in the next video. But for now, you need to understand the basic idea. Jing continuously flies inside her ultimate, dealing damage while constantly healing, and during this sequence she becomes incredibly hard to lock down or catch. It is the core reason why Jing is considered such a strong and stylish assassin. For this video, I'll only explain how to perform it at a very basic level. So when you activate your ultimate, and there is at least one enemy inside it, you can begin the Flying Thunder Goddess loop. To execute it, you simply keep pressing your ultimate repeatedly while weaving in your skills and basic attacks. The most common input pattern for this combo is 3A32, 3A32, and 3A3A, when both skills are on cooldown. If you have followed everything so far, you should already understand how her cooldown reset works inside her ultimate. Your passive reduces the cooldown reset requirement to just 2 seconds while you remain inside the circle. That's the mechanic we take advantage of here. You keep pressing her ultimate, then use whichever skill becomes available, and when both skill 1 and skill 2 are on cooldown, you simply press ultimate plus 2 basic attacks. Those 2 basic attacks help refresh her cooldowns again, and then you repeat the process. I'm intentionally not going further into detail here, because this combo will be the main highlight of the next episode, where I'll break it down step by step and teach you exactly how to practice it and perfect it. So if you truly want to master Jing, be patient and watch out for the next episode. And that's it for this video, lads. I hope you learned a lot about Jing today. The reason this episode doesn't feature many combos is because I wanted to first introduce you to Jing's fundamentals, her passive, skills, and overall mechanics. If I jumped straight into advanced combos, it would be difficult for beginners to understand and follow along without a proper foundation. Don't worry though, the next video is going to be amazing. I'll teach you exactly how I practice her combos and how you can train efficiently to master them as well. If you found this video helpful, then please consider both hyping and liking it. Comment any questions you have, and subscribe to my channel to join my W subscribers family. We are getting very close to hitting 5,000 subscribers, so help me reach that milestone before the end of this year. Also, share this video with your friends and fellow Jing mains. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye and love y'all.